Right then, we're just coming up to 4 minutes past 10, so I think it would be timely to make a start. So thank you all. We're up to 23 people at the moment, which is very, very nice. Welcome to this 3SE webinar on creating operational efficiency to enable teams and improve service delivery. So something that's definitely really important to all of us. So I'd love to invite you to keep your cameras on if you feel comfortable doing so, because it's always nice to see faces and for our speaker to get a bit of feedback. But of course, if that's not comfortable for you, then you're more than welcome to also switch your cameras off. Would ask obviously that you remain muted throughout, and we'll have a bit of a Q&A at the end of the session. So obviously you're more than welcome to turn your mics back on for for that one. If you've got some questions, you can pop them in the chat, or like I said, you can wait for the end, and have a think about questions as we're going through, because it's always nice to get a little bit of discussion going. I think that's it from now, housekeeping wise. Oh, sorry, I should introduce myself as well, shouldn't I? So I'm Catherine, I'm director at 3SC, and it's lovely to be here, and it's lovely to see you and have you join us this morning. So we've got a real treat for you, because we've got William Velasco joining us as our expert speaker. So William has many, many, many years experience in the tech industry. He's the founder of Open Centric, and he leads a diverse team of professionals to deliver user-centric digital solutions for business and organizations. So I'm hoping that you're going to be able to pick his brains and get loads of really great ideas and feedback, and I'm sure his presentation will start us thinking this morning. So over to you, William.
Oh, excellent. Thank you very much.
I am just bringing up the presentation, so bear with me 1 second.
Okay.
My job. The fact that you have 5 staff, and we've got 300, is, you know.
Catherine, probably worth mentioning, we are recording the session.
Definitely, thank you. There's always something that I forget. We are recording the session today, as Kasia mentioned. So again, that might be a reason why you prefer to keep your camera off. But all of our sessions are available in the members area of the 3SE website. So you're able to access those at any time. I think we've got over 18 or 20, around about 20 recordings of previous webinars. So, really great tools for CPD for your teams to be able to access those at any time as well. So there we go. Are we having much luck with the slides this morning?
It's just taking a little while to load.
No worries.
I'll give it another 20 seconds. If not, you might want to try, Catherine, if that's okay.
Okay, so, yeah. While Cash is doing that, I'll tell you as well that we'll have a little feedback survey at the end. So I'll post that in the chat, or Cash will, and we'd be grateful for your feedback using that little form, or you're more than welcome to email us as well. And also I wanted to let you know that you might be aware that 3SE now runs level 2 accredited courses in neurodiversity awareness. And our next level 2 course is taking place on the morning of the 18th and the morning of the 20th of February. So if that's something of interest to you, then please do give Kasia or myself a shout, and we can get you booked onto that session.
Catherine, if you could try sharing, please, that would be
sure, no problem.
Great.
Best laid plans, isn't it? We got these slides up on the screen just before we start, and now it's decided that it's not going to play. So just give me a moment, guys. I think the tech is feeling a little bit like me this morning, a little bit slow.
I think I'm gonna need to get the better Wi-Fi to increase the efficiency.
Well, it's always the way. We always seem to have tech issues when we have a tech subject. So, William, I'm blaming you for this one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Right, my slides are just opening now. So there we go.
Yep.
There we go. Hurrah! Thank you. Right then, so that was a very long and tedious introduction. So now, William, it really is over to you.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, thank you very much for the introduction. And yes, I'm looking forward to hopefully giving you guys some room for thought about when it comes to efficiency and operational efficiency. So then let's just get started. I think to begin with, I'll just give you a little bit of background about us at Open Centric, and so you just get to know about us. So perhaps if you go to the next slide. So since our inception in 2008, so yes, we have been around for many years, 17 years now. Essentially, we've always been at the forefront of software development. We consider ourselves not just as another company, but a dedicated digital partner. Our mission is quite simple, really. We immerse ourselves within the world of organizations, comprehending both their needs and customers' desires. As a digital partner, we become an integral part of the one team within the organization, pinpointing productivity gaps and introducing groundbreaking ideas. We're not afraid to challenge requests that have little to no value. Our expertise lies in crafting user-centric digital solutions that captivate audiences and supercharge efficiency. We have a diverse team embracing various ages, races, nationalities, and genders. And we thrive on the exchange of diverse perspectives and knowledge, fostering seamless collaboration with our clients. Each member of our team boasts over 2 decades of experience in their respective fields, but we're relentless in our pursuit of excellence. We're not just passionate about what we do, we're perpetual learners, always keen to tackle new challenges. Our dedication to quality is underlined by our ISO 9001 Quality Management System certification, and we place immense value on transparent communication, both internally and externally. And our commitment to ongoing professional development is proudly recognized by our Investors in People accreditation. Now, in an increasingly digital world, security is paramount, and that's why we hold certifications in Cyber Essentials, Cyber Essentials Plus, and ISO 27001 Information Security Management. So we're not just another company, we're Open Centric. We're here to empower the digital journey for organizations. Next slide, please. So this is a small selection of notable clients. We work with quite a range of organizations within the public, charity, nonprofit, and private sectors, all with very different requirements. Now, key to the success of each and every one of those projects has been our close collaboration, understanding the organizational goals, and taking time to really understand the customer journeys. So over to the next slide, please. Right, and now let's get started with today's topic, really understanding operational efficiency. You know, what is operational efficiency? It really refers to delivering the greatest impact with the resources available, ensuring that funds, time, and effort are used effectively to benefit service users and stakeholders. For charities, employability providers, skill development organizations, coaching, mentoring, and well-being services, operational efficiency means maximizing service delivery while minimizing administrative burdens. It means reducing waste, avoiding duplication of processes, unnecessary reporting, and excessive paperwork. Ensuring more funding goes to the frontline services rather than overheads. Leveraging digital tools and collaboration to reach more people and improve outcomes. And operational efficiency versus effectiveness. You know, efficiency really is about doing things right, reducing wasted time, and resources, whereas effectiveness is about doing the right things, delivering the most impact for the service users. So for example, let's think of a charity. A charity can streamline their volunteer onboarding process to reduce administrative workload, allowing more time for frontline support. So why is operational efficiency important? Why does it matter for this sector? It's important to maximize limited resources. Many organizations rely on grants, donations, or government funding, making it crucial to optimize resources. More efficiency equals more impact. Fewer admin hours equals more time for supporting people. So as an example, let's think of a mentoring program that digitizes session scheduling and how that reduces manual coordination, which in turn allows mentors to focus more time on guidance. Reducing administrative burden, how can we do that? So staff and volunteers often spend too much time on admin instead of the frontline work. The streamlining reporting, funding applications, and compliance reduces burnout and improves quality. So let's picture a well-being charity using automated CRM to track client progress instead of managing spreadsheets manually, and how that would improve. You need to think about improving service delivery and accessibility. Efficient organizations can serve more people faster and with better quality. Removing inefficiencies makes services more accessible, especially for vulnerable groups. So as an example, let's think of an employability provider using digital assessment and e-learning platforms, resulting in reduced waiting times for job seekers. Strengthening funding and donor confidence. Funders and donors expect transparency and measurable impact. Efficient operations demonstrate value for many, increasing the likelihood of continued funding. As an example, a charity that uses clear impact metrics, such as cost per beneficiary supported, can attract far more funding. Enhancing staff and volunteer well-being. Efficiency has been proven to reduce stress, workload, and burnout among teams. Empowering staff with better tools improves motivation and retention. So let's think of a coaching organization implementing simple digital check-ins, how that reduces admin and improves mentor-mentee relationships. In the nonprofit and social impact sectors, operational efficiency isn't just about saving money. It's about maximizing the difference you can make in people's lives by streamlining processes, leveraging technology, and reducing admin. You can free up more time and resources for what truly matters, delivering real, lasting impact. Next slide, please. From experience, we know that many organizations in the social impact sector operate with limited budgets, high demand on services, and a reliance on funding circles. This can create operational inefficiencies that reduce the impact of their work. Some of the most common sources include process-related inefficiencies, manual repetitive tasks, such as filling in paper forms instead of digital tools, duplicated work, staff entering the same data multiple times across different systems, lack of standardized procedures, inconsistent client onboarding across different locations or teams. So as an example, let's think of a charity. A charity supporting unemployed individuals may have different intake processes at different centers, leading to delays in accessing support. There are people-related inefficiencies. poor communication between teams, leading to misunderstandings and duplicated efforts, unclear roles and responsibilities, causing confusion over who should handle specific tasks. Staff and volunteer burnout, reducing productivity and increasing turnover. So let's think of a mentoring program. A mentoring program may lack a clear handover process when a mentor leaves, causing delays in assigning a new mentor. How does that help the service user? Technology-related inefficiencies. Outdated systems, it tends to be a big problem. That are, those systems that are slow and difficult to use. Lack of integration between softwares. For example, there'll be a CRM that isn't connected to the reporting tools, so there's a duplication of effort there. Data silos, where different teams or locations store information separately, making it hard to share those insights. So let's think about an employability provider. An employability provider might track client progress in spreadsheets instead of a centralized database, leading to data loss or duplication. There are also decision-making inefficiencies, slow approval processes for funding, service changes, or project decisions. Lack of real-time data, making it hard to assess the effectiveness of a program. Being reactive rather than proactive decision-making, addressing issues as they arise rather than preventing them. As an example, a well-being organization may take weeks to approve new mental health workshops due to multiple layers of sign-off. Again, how does that help the service user? Next slide, please. So identifying bottlenecks, tools for identifying bottlenecks. To improve operational efficiency, organizations first need to identify where those inefficiencies occur. Quickly going to cover some practical tools and techniques. One of them being process mapping. This is the really where we come across a visual representation of workflows to identify unnecessary steps or delays. It helps teams to see where time and resources are being wasted. So for example, a charity mapping out its donor management process may discover multiple approval stages delaying the funding allocations. Data and key performance indicators. Collecting and analyzing data to track inefficiencies. Things like waiting times, service delivery times, or dropout rates. All these helps in setting measurable goals for improvement. We don't know where the problems are. How can we improve on them? So for example, let's picture an employability provider monitoring time taken from the initial registration to the first job interview. This helps them can identify the delays in the process. Staff and volunteer feedback. Staff and volunteers are often the first ones that have huge insights into operational inefficiencies. Things like regular surveys, focus groups, and feedback sessions can reveal recurring issues. So if we think of a well-being organization, they might find that counselors that struggle with slow IT systems is causing reduction in their availability for clients because they're spending too much time on those. Observational audits and mystery users. Observing day-to-day processes to spot inefficiencies in real time. Engaging with a mystery user to go through an organization's process and report their experience. So as an example, let's think of a skills development organization. They could ask someone to sign up for a course as a test case and highlight any unnecessary delays. It's always great to really put yourself in the eyes of your end user. So identifying bottlenecks is the first step towards creating a more efficient and impactful organization. By using tools such as process mapping, data analytics, and staff feedback, charities and social impact organizations can streamline operations, reduce administrative burdens, and improve service delivery, ensuring that more time and resources go towards supporting the people who need it most. Next slide, please. So, strategies for creating operational efficiency. I'd like to explore practical strategies to improve operational efficiency, focus on process optimization and improving communication and collaboration. Process optimization, why does it matter? Many social impact organizations operate with limited resources, but high demand. By optimizing resources and processes, these organizations can reduce the administrative burden, increase service capacity, and enhance the overall impact. And this is where things like lean methodologies kick in. The whole concept, in case you're not familiar with it, of eliminating waste. The lean approach helps organizations remove unnecessary steps and inefficiencies. It focuses on value-added activities that directly benefit service users. So, for example, a well-being organization might discover that caseworkers spend too much time on reporting rather than supporting clients. Automating reports or simplifying the process can free up valuable time. Automating manual tasks. Common manual tasks that can be automated include scheduling appointments, use online booking systems, for example, sending email reminders for events, training, and mentoring sessions. Data collection and reporting, making sure that we make use of things like CRM systems. So, for example, an employability provider using an online self-service portal, allowing job seekers to upload CVs and book appointments without staff intervention, would bring a huge time saving. Standardizing processes and for consistency. This creates a clear and repeatable structure to prevent inefficiencies. Ensures that all staff and volunteers and locations follow the same approach. So if we think of a skills training organization who can develop a step-by-step onboarding guide for new learners, this will ensure consistency in how they are enrolled, assessed, and supported. Enhancing communication and collaboration. This is crucial for organizations such as yourselves because poor communication is a major cause of inefficiencies in charities and in social impact organizations. Improving how teams collaborate ensures better service delivery, reduced duplication, and improved staff well-being. Setting things like clear roles and responsibilities. Many inefficiencies arise when staff and volunteers are unsure of their roles. Ensuring clarity avoids duplicated effort and missed tasks. So if we think of a mentoring program can create a volunteer handbook and role descriptions so that mentors understand the responsibilities and escalation procedures. Making use of digital collaboration tools. Online tools help teams stay connected, even when working remotely. So recommended tools include Teams, as we're using today, or Slack for internal communication, things like Asana, Trello, or Monday.com for project management, or Google Drive and SharePoint for document sharing. If we think about a charity delivering employability training could move all of the training materials to a shared online drive, reducing the need for constant email exchanges. We need to look at breaking down silos between teams. Many organizations struggle with departments working in isolation rather than collaboration. Regular cross-team meetings ensure joined-up approach to service delivery. If we think of a well-being organization that integrates mental health services with employability support, ensures that individuals receive a holistic care rather than being passed between departments. All of this can come about through regular communication. It's streamlining external communication with service users and stakeholders. Inefficiency in outreach and communication can reduce engagement. Using multi-channel approaches, such as email, text, WhatsApp, even social media, ensures that key messages reach the right people. After all, not one channel will fit everybody. So if we think of a coaching organization might use an automated text reminders for appointments, reducing the number of no-shows. And what I'd like to get across is that by streamlining processes and improving communication, social impact organizations can serve more people, reduce administrative burdens, and create more positive work environment for staff and volunteers. Process optimization and collaboration are not just about efficiency, they directly impact the quality and the reach of the services provided. Next slide, please. Empowering teams to focus on core activities. Upskilling staff and volunteers is one of the most important things to do. Many inefficiencies arise from when staff lack the right training to use digital tools, manage workloads, or follow streamlined processes. Continuous development ensures teams can work more effectively and adapt to changes quickly. So for example, a charity using a new case management system should provide regular training to ensure that staff use it efficiently rather than to result into inefficient workarounds. Digital skills for efficiency. We find that many organizations rely on digital tools but fail to train their staff on best practices. Essential digital skills training can reduce time wasted on admin, improve reporting accuracy, and streamline collaboration. So if we think of an employability provider could train staff on how to automate reports rather than manually inputting data each month. Encouraging a growth mindset. Staff and volunteers should be encouraged to proactively seek solutions to inefficiencies rather than just follow outdated processes. Providing peer learning opportunities such as workshops, case studies on efficiency improvements can help build an engaged and proactive team. So for example, a mentoring organization, they could create a knowledge sharing forum where mentors discuss challenges and efficient ways to support mentees. Creating a culture of efficiency. Encouraging innovation and continuous improvement. This is about really empowering teams. Teams should be empowered to suggest process improvements rather than just following existing structures. Organizations can set up feedback loops where staff and volunteers propose ideas for improving efficiency. So let's picture a well-being service. They could introduce a monthly efficiency forum where staff discuss what's working and where time is being wasted. Recognizing and rewarding efficiency-driven behaviors. Positive reinforcement really helps encourage teams to embrace new ways of working. Recognizing staff and volunteers who implement time-saving or impact increasing ideas fosters motivation. So for example, think of a skills training organization. They might create an efficiency champion award for individuals who improve workflows or reduce admin burdens. Leadership role in driving efficiency. Leaders and managers set the tone. If they value and model efficiency, teams will follow. Senior teams should actively engage in process improvements, ensuring efficiency is embedded into their daily operations. So for example, a charity CEO who digitizes reports rather than printing them sends a message about the importance of reducing waste and modernizing processes. Managing workloads to prevent burnout. Overburdened staff are less efficient and more likely to make mistakes. Streamlining workflows and workloads ensures that teams focus on high impact activities rather than low value admin. So let's think about a coaching service. Coaching service could introduce admin support roles or use virtual assistants to handle scheduling, freeing up coaches to focus on clients. Efficiency is not just about cutting costs. It's about empowering staff and volunteers to focus on their core mission. By investing in training, creating a culture of continuous improvement, and ensuring teams have the right tools and support, organizations can enhance their impact while improving staff well-being and retention. Next slide, please. Improving service delivery. In your sector, operational efficiency should always be aligned with the ultimate goal of improving service delivery. Efficiency must not come at a cost of quality or accessibility. Instead, streamlined operations should enable organizations to reach more people, respond faster, and provide a better experience for service users. I'd like to explore how organizations can align efficiency with their service goals, adopt customer-centric approach, and embrace continuous improvement. Aligning operational efficiency with service goals, it really is a balance of efficiency with impact. Efficiency should be about doing more of what matters, not just reducing costs. So if we think of a mentoring program, a mentoring program is streamlining its sign-up process, must ensure mentee-mentor matching remains at high quality, rather than just rushing placements. Measuring efficiency and service outcomes. Organizations should track both operational efficiency and service quality metrics to ensure one does not come at the expense of the other. Key efficiency metrics could be time taken from first contact to service delivery, how long it takes for a job seeker to access employability support. Could be the number of clients served versus resources used, staff or volunteer time spent on admin versus service delivery. Key service quality metrics could be end user satisfaction scores, service completion rates, how many people complete the training program, positive outcomes such as percentage of job seekers securing employment. As an example, let's think of a well-being charity. A well-being charity could measure average waiting times for mental health support alongside service effectiveness ratings from clients. And lastly, reducing bureaucracy while maintaining compliance. Many organizations are burdened with or by complex reporting and compliance requirements. is streamlining compliance processes, such as automating funding reports, ensures that services remain responsive rather than reactive. So for example, let's think of a skills training organization. They could use digital attendance tracking rather than paper forms, reducing the admin workload. Next slide, please. Improving service delivery, taking a customer-centric process. Mapping the service user journey. Understanding how the service users experience your organization can highlight inefficiencies. Service journey mapping helps identify barriers and delays in accessing support. For example, a charity providing employment support might find that complex application forms deter people from signing up, prompting a switch to simpler online registration. Reducing friction for service users. Common friction points include long waiting times, delays in assigning mentors, for example, difficult application processes, a complex funding eligibility criteria, lack of clarity on next steps, such as the service users unsure what happens from the initial consultation. So as an example, a coaching organization, they could introduce automated email confirmations with clear steps after sign up, reducing confusion and follow-up calls. Personalizing service at scale. Efficiency should not mean one-size-fits-all approach. Instead, smart systems can help tailor services to individual needs. Let's think of an employability provider. They could use AI-driven career assessment tools to provide personalized job recommendations for job seekers without requiring additional staff hours. When we look at continuous improvement, it really is about embedding a culture of continuous learning. Teams should be encouraged to regularly review and refine processes based on feedback and data. Let's think of a mentoring program. They could hold quarterly reviews where mentors share insights on what's working and what's not. Gathering feedback from service users. Direct feedback from service users helps refine services to be both efficient and impactful. A well-being organization could conduct short, automated surveys after each session to gather insights on how to improve accessibility and effectiveness. Adapting to changing needs and technologies. Nowadays, organizations need to be flexible and open to new ways of working to stay effective. Regularly assessing new technologies, service models, and external best practice ensures efficiency improvements remain relevant. If we think of a charity moving from phone-based support to a hybrid model, including chatbots and virtual consultations, and how they can reach more people while maintaining quality. What I'm trying to get at is that efficiency should never come at the cost of service quality. Rather, it should enhance service delivery, making it faster, more accessible, and more impactful. By focusing on customer-centric design, continuous improvement, and balancing efficiency with outcomes, organizations can ensure that every resource is used to create a meaningful change for the people you support. Next slide, please. So I'd like to talk to you about a case study. So in Early Years Wales, for those who are not familiar with that organization, it's a government-funded organization providing support and advice to early years providers such as nurseries and creche. In 2019, they approached us with a digital transformation project, looking to consolidate 6 systems, including a CRM, spreadsheets, and website into one. We created a digital onboarding process via the website to replace their PDF and paper-based copy application form. The new system provides a membership wizard, which automatically presents the correct membership level based on 2 simple questions. Payment is automatically taken during the sign-up and registration process, set to automatically recur annually. Previously, payment was accepted via a variety of methods, including cash, check, PayPal, debit card, making it very time-consuming to reconcile payment. A payment schedule dashboard now provides a clear forecast of how many members will renew each month. Contact and support logs enable team members to capture information about the support provided in real time, categorizing to facilitate reporting. Quarterly reporting for Welsh Government is automatically generated, breaking support metrics down to or by county, provider, and type of support. Prior to the implementation of the system, this was a task that was taking weeks to do every quarter. We developed a quality management system to replace a paper-based system. The system enables providers to complete the assessments online, upload evidence, and set goals that are tracked year on year. The system has significantly reduced time spent on administrative tasks. No longer requires data duplication from one system to another. Now, the biggest impact on this has been the free time that has enabled the team to create an incredible number of workshops for their members. That added value has reflected in a huge increase in memberships, growing from 400 in 2019 to currently at just over 1,900. That's a huge increase. Next slide, please. For Estyn, the Inspector of Education and Training in Wales, we developed a bilingual website, really integrating with their inspection report database to ensure that all service users were able to get data about the latest reports for any provider in Wales. We also created a parent report generator, ensuring that, unlike before, where they were being manually produced, the data is actually being pulled from their inspection data and automatically created by the system, taking seconds instead of days. The system also was created in such a way that enabled them to schedule reports to be uploaded today, but scheduled to go live on different dates, which really allowed their team to focus on what they do best and not having to be in front of a computer at a set time or date and time to make resources available to the public. Our work with them really saw their traffic increase by over 229%, from 400,000 to over 1.2 million within a couple of years. And it really just goes to show that providing users with an interface that they can that's user-friendly, that they can use without hesitation, that integrates and saves them time, really enabled their team to promote their resources and drive that traffic. So it's always about a collaborative approach, focusing on what it is that they're trying to achieve, thinking of the end users, and producing something that really brings a solution that's fit for purpose for both the end stakeholders and the internal team. Because unfortunately, sometimes the internal team is forgotten and systems are created only to deliver a service, but it's far too complicated for the internal team to use. And that's where adoption fails and the systems are not used and the workarounds are generated. So thank you for bearing with me. I hope I haven't killed you by PowerPoint. And yeah, over to open it up to the group to really hear from you about what problems or I guess difficulties you're experiencing, and how we can as a group come up with some ideas that we can help you.
Lovely. So, so anybody got any thoughts, anything you want to add in, or maybe there's something going on in your organization that's niggling away, and you'd kind of like to get William's feedback on it. It's not often you get a tech guy for free to answer your questions. So, so it'd be great if anybody wants to make the most of that. You're obviously welcome to post any questions you might have in the chat, or I think we've got some Q&A as well in the chat for those people who can't access the other version of the chat, if that makes sense. But yeah, or you can just put your hands up. That's absolutely fine. So oh, Fabio, you just popped your hand up. Let's go to you first then, please.
Morning, guys. Morning, William. Thanks for the presentation. I was really like question. One of the big barriers I'm facing, for example, with regards to driving new changes, or like, for example, improving the efficiency and everything, is really to change people mindset. Is really to get everyone on board. So I know that during your presentation, you touched on a few times on the behavioral science. How can, as a manager, how can I use that? Because behavioral science can be a lot, can be overwhelming at times. But how can I use that to drive small changes into that can have a longer impact? How can I incorporate this new tool or this new research inside my day-to-day work?
I think when it comes to change, I think as human beings, we're all reluctant to change. It's like, we've done things in a certain way. It's difficult to make a change. What's really worked for us, because we've gone into so many organizations and we have hit that barrier with, for one reason or another, there are members who say, well, we're happy with the way it works, or sometimes they're afraid. They think, oh no, this system's going to come in and it's going to automate so many things that I'm going to be left out of a job. And really the best way that we've gotten the buy-in from the stakeholders, from the team members, is to bring them back as to think about why they're working for the organization, why they decided to take part of being a member of that team. And that really focused the purpose on the deliverables, not the tasks that are as a result of delivering that service. So when they themselves can see that, actually, going back to early years Wales, that they have more free time, or they will have more free time to do what they do best and what they enjoy, which for their case was creating workshops to really add more value to those early years providers, to help them for them to improve in terms of their quality or their service delivery. You can see they were really passionate about doing those things, but they just didn't have time. And when we explained to them that actually this new system that's going to come on board is actually going to help you, it is a tool that's going to allow you to do more with your time and to provide a better service and to really help those users that's what you signed up for, that really opens them up to realizing that actually it's not something to be afraid of. And also the other thing is, some of them are sometimes reluctant of a new system because of how complex it might be. Oh my God, and now I'm going to have to learn this new thing and it's going to be so complicated. For us, because we do create bespoke systems using open source, we create it in collaboration with them. So we have that buy-in from them as the system's being created over time, where we will focus on one piece of functionality. We will build it. We will then share it with them, explain it, and let them learn how to use that bit and give us feedback on whether they find it's too difficult. And we work that collaborative approach of slowly feeding bits of functionality of the new system and then learning as we go along, means that they're not hit with a, wow, we got to learn this huge system at the end of it. Yes, there's a refresher and training at that point, but they've slowly digested all that training over a period of time, week in, week out. And it's the adoption is so much easier, not just from the team, because usually there's a team who's involved in working with us and testing that out. But their excitement then is almost contagious. They go out there and they speak to the other teams and they go, oh, you can't wait to use this new system. There's no duplication. It'll be the one system that does everything. It does the reporting, it does the membership tracking, it does the support logs, it does the contact logs. It's we're not having to put the same data day in, day out on 6 different systems anymore. And that excitement and buying from that initial cohort or team that's working closely with you is what really helps the adoption of the system. So it's always about getting them to focus on why they're doing what they're doing and forget about the tasks. It's what do we want to get out of it? Why are you doing these things? And to really bring that passion back out.
Lovely, thank you. We've got 2 nice questions from Suzanne in the chat. Thank you, Suzanne. So she has 2 immediate challenges in her team. The first is the competing parts of our jobs. And I think this is really key for all of us, actually. How do we know which to prioritize? They are interlinked. Is there any tools that can help us work this out? So I guess by that kind of you've got the need to manage staff, or the need to do administration, or to complete claims, with the balance with the needs to do what we're all here really to do, and that's serve our clients, look after our customers, etc. So competing priorities. How can tech help us with that stuff first, please, William?
I mean, I think it's obviously I mentioned some of the project management tools that are out there, like Trello and Monday.com and so on. They will only actually work if internally you guys have decided on a priority index as to what's high priority and why is that, and what's a lower priority. And really it's about identifying and categorizing the tasks to begin with, and always really thinking about why is it high priority? Is it because it's going to add the biggest value to your end user or to your staff members, or is it because you're being reactive to something? If that's the case, then it's yes, some things need to be tackled, but also you need to look at the root cause. Why are we being reactive today on something that we possibly could have prevented, and how can we prevent it from happening again? So it really is, unfortunately, the tools by themselves won't help you, and which I know is probably not the answer that you guys are looking for, but it's about understanding and categorizing these challenges as they come. So there needs to be, that's where, time and effort needs to go into prioritizing and learning, almost creating a priority matrix, so that every time something comes up, that's the first thing you do.
I think there's also, for many people, kind of a cost benefit analysis to be done. So certain systems or products can appear to be expensive, but I think sometimes when you dig into how much staff time is being spent to do a manual process or a workaround versus, how much would be spent on improving efficiency, actually it then becomes more worthwhile. So an example of that is it is for people who have credit cards. There's various credit card systems. We had been using one called Pleo, and it enabled you to use your phone to pay for whatever it was, or as you would a normal credit card, but then you snapped a picture of the receipt and uploaded it. So that actually saved me a lot of time. That probably saved me about 2 hours a month in terms of taking pictures, uploading, and all of that kind of business like we would do normally. But it is not a cheap solution. But when you look at the cost benefit analysis, how much is your time worth? And I think that's always worth looking at. What could you be doing that is more effective, more productive, instead of that thing that always seems to drop down your to-do list. The second question there is also a really good one. Thank you, Suzanne. So it's about accessibility. So automated systems and CRMs are useful, but we have been challenged by making sure that these are accessible for the people we support and staff with lived experience. For example, learning disability, including but not limited to dyslexia. And yeah, my own experience with dyslexia is it takes me a long time to learn new things. I'm very comfortable with what I'm comfortable with, but yeah, it does take me a little bit longer to learn a completely new system. So yeah, any thoughts on that, please, William?
I mean, accessibility is something that is, accessibility awareness is growing. Before people would build these systems and actually give it no thought whatsoever. Then it came along and they started prioritizing the accessibility for the front end users and then forgetting about the back end users. It is something that for us, it's accessibility is at the top of mind, making sure that it's the systems that are inclusive for everybody. But it is, you're right, unfortunately, it is a challenge depending on the systems that are out there, finding one that will do that. If you're working with a forward-thinking company, they will be implementing these, ensuring that these systems are accessible for all of your users, because this is just the way it's going. The demand is there. It's a must-have, not a nice-have anymore. You will find that these platforms will just get more and more user-friendly, and really not be so intuitive that really require very little in terms of manuals and guidance in order to be able to use them. So it really is about asking the question, when you do select a system, is, how's it been tested for accessibility, and how far are you guys going, or if it's being adapted to ensure that accessibility is improved, what is the roadmap? Is that something that's going to happen now, or are they looking to do it in 5 years' time?
Yeah, great. And I think there's other bits we can do, kind of like try and include functionality like read out loud. So if you've got a question or something that you have to answer, you have the ability to click a little button and it reads that statement for the person. Things like that can be helpful. Anything where we can encourage different formats as well. So can the person, like on our mobile phones, have we got the option to speak and then it translates it to text to complete fields, etc. Things like that are always really useful and beneficial. Nice comment from Helen. Thank you, Helen, in the chat. So kind of some examples here of good practice from Maximus. She says, "Hi, William. Thank you for your time this morning. It was a really thought-provoking session. At Maximus, I believe we are really proactive in introducing time-saving processes to support operational teams. We have introduced AI and we have a change management team. Anyone in the business that has innovative ideas can submit them to the change management team, who will work with them to see if their ideas can be introduced to the wider business or find solutions for time-consuming processes. AI is also huge at the moment, and we have our own internal AI, Ask Max. This is utilised by employment advisors and managers to save time in creating CVs, cover letters, source interview questions, and analyse job descriptions. It allows us to spend more time with customers to build their confidence. I feel that staff have really bought into this and are embracing it." So what's been the trigger there, Helen, if you don't mind? What's enabled staff to buy into that so effectively?
So I think what we're really good at is the communications, especially in Wales. So I'm based in Wales. I know I've got a colleague on here that I think's in England. So it might be different over there, but we've done a lot of communications with operational teams over advances in technology, especially with AI. So obviously, I think a lot of staff within our business, they're of that younger age group to me. I'm in my 50s, so might have been a little bit more resistant until somebody showed me how to use it all. but a lot of the younger staff were using things already like ChatGPT. We use bots in our business as well for things around customer service standards on contracts. So it will generate reports, notify managers of things that need to be updated or completed in time for hitting customer service standards. So there's a lot of AI that we are using, and I think when teams are shown how it can benefit them and if it is sold in a positive manner, but I think they're more likely to use it. I think the main concern for people is that AI is going to take over and replace them, whereas I think you always need that human element. So where we might use our AI for support in creating CVs or giving us ideas on how to put a CV together, you still have to bear in mind that individual, and does it sound like them? There are nuances to where you may have to change terminology, make it more user friendly for them, but it's giving them ideas of different formats, different layouts, and it's a lot quicker. So I think staff, once they're confident in knowing how to use it and they see it demonstrated, they're more likely to buy in. Does that answer that? I don't know if I've gone off on a tangent.
That's lovely. Thanks, Helen. And as we know, everything's better in Wales, isn't it?
we do try, Catherine. We do try, but it is new to us here, so it's only been launched pretty much where staff have been actively using it in the last 12 months. So I think there has been a big difference, and staff are embracing it a lot more now.
I think that's it. And I think it's about kind of finding the nuggets of success. So, you know, if you can, you know, role model a member of staff who's had loads of impact and had some great successes using AI, and you can say, well, this is what's available, then others start to get a little bit more interested in, particularly us dinosaurs who might be a little bit more resistant. Not talking about you, Helen, of course, talking about myself.
It's fine. I was resistant to start with, but now I'm like, oh, this is amazing. I've gone the other way now.
There's no stopping you. Thank you. So Gavin's put a little comment, shout out in the chat there. Upscale and duty of care. Upscale and duty of care meet the client's needs. Interested in your views, and he says his website Dyspraxia Lambeth is a good example of a charity for potential in transition. Happy to product test. Thank you, Gavin. Have we got anything else in the chat? I don't think we have. I don't think we've got any more hands up. So unless anybody want to add anything else there, either in chat or vocally, you're very welcome to do so. I don't think there is. William, before we wrap up then, do you want to give us like your final thoughts, top tips, anything else you want to, any nuggets that you want to leave us with before you wrap up?
I mean, first of all, Helen, I think what your organization is doing is fantastic. I think the adoption of AI there is definitely in the right direction. One thing, you know, have you guys considered looking into the AI phone agents to even provide support over the phone when they ring, things like that? What we've already trialed it with a couple of organizations, and where it really adds value is, again, it's not about taking those operators who are picking up the phone and taking their jobs away. Is that undoubtedly sometimes you get too many calls and they just can't get through, or outside office hours tends to be a big challenge, or if they're away for whatever reason. So it's to supplement that. So if, you know, so what we've done with some organizations is if the phone call, for example, isn't picked up within 2 rings, then the AI agent will pick up the call and we'll have that conversation. Makes it very clear that they're a virtual agent, but it also makes it very clear that they can answer any questions. And what's great about that approach is that actually you can give it a whole encyclopedia of knowledge, which they consume in seconds. So if you ask it a question, it will find it and give you a response very, very quickly. So it's a very good way of having that additional support and being able to provide and almost funnel the end user to the right support needed. And you know, there are fantastic ways then of providing that support, especially for 24/7. If I don't know, unfortunately, enough about your organization or what you do, but it's just something to consider.
Definitely. I know that we, as a business, we do have our own contact centre that deals with calls from for on behalf of charities like Mind Cymru and Samaritans. So whether they're looking into sort of automated ways of responding to calls, I'm not sure. I know that we do have automated assistance with our HR team. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know. But they do answer basic questions before directing you on to, and that's more in a chat function rather than telephone calls. So we are using it in that capacity at the moment.
Brilliant. Yeah, I mean, the main takeaway from today, really, it's about being on the lookout for inefficiencies. And to be honest, the easiest way to identify them is when someone complains. It's when someone says, oh God, I got to put this data in. I'm so tired of putting this data in from here to here to here to here. And oh God, oh, it took me so many hours to do that. Or why do I have to grab the data from here? Why can't they talk to each other? God, I'm just not getting through my workload in one day. It's just there's not enough hours. That's when we really need to be on the lookout and have our radars open, where we can stop and say, oh, that's interesting that you mentioned that. Could you just talk me through what you did today? And then start breaking it down. It's all about really breaking down those tasks, that daily journey for everybody, and then going, oh, hang on a second, that shouldn't be happening. Why are you doing this so many times? Because unlike the systems, the digital systems and AI, human beings get tired, get bored, and will make mistakes when that happens. If you're tired or you're bored, if you're not concentrating on something, that's the easiest way to make a mistake. And with mistakes, obviously, that's like the inefficiency kicks in, and the consistency of delivery of service becomes inconsistent and very, very poor. So it's to be on the lookout. It's to have that mindset of, mentioned earlier, have everybody look out for better ways to do things. Just because something has been done for many years, if you feel it's cumbersome, if you feel it's too time consuming, it is important to even just raise the question. You might not have the solution, but it'll be good to just raise it to somebody and say, this has taken a long time. I don't know how to fix it, but what can we do? What opportunities can we explore here? So that's really the biggest takeaway, is that the technology, now we are at an age where actually the technology can help us. It is fit for purpose. It's about finding it and allocating it. So moving away from those manual, repetitive, time-consuming, and error-prone tasks should be our goal.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Super duper. Thank you all very much for joining us this morning. In the chat, you will find a very, very, very brief feedback form. I promise it won't take more than a couple of minutes to complete, and that's posted both in the Q&A and the chat there. Thanks very much for your time. Lovely to see you. We look forward to seeing you next month. I know Cash is just about to publish a load of topics that we've got forthcoming on the members area of the website, so please do look out for those. And until next time, see you and have a great rest of the month. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us, William. Great session.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.